Okay, it looks like server transfers are in fact coming. Then Day the Miner, who's been correct on pretty much everything else we've seen in Day the Mine so far that's been introduced into the game, came out with a new Day the Mine showing the server transfer rules. It says a new server in order to play with friends or experience a new server environment, etc. So I would expect that there's some people out there watching this video that joined the game, and when they joined on the wrong server, and their friends on a different server. This has happened to me, etc. So for this reason, it looks like they're adding a server transfer. At least that's what the Day the Mine showing. Let's go over this. I haven't had a chance to read this yet. So a character is transferred to another server. The character that the character is on remains unchanged. Okay, so you bring with you your gems, your gear, all of that stuff. After server transfer, all possessions will be retained on the character. However, any items that the character possesses that can be traded in the market will no longer be tradable. So if you're sitting on any gems, you can't bring them to a different server in order to basically benefit from the higher platinum pricing or whatever on that server. They're trying to stop that from happening. Makes sense. If the target server has a character with the same name of your character, a random number will be appended to your name in a free name change. Okay, so basically though, if someone had the name DM on a different server, it would be DM123, and then they would be like, here's a free name change. Find some other name so no one else has got your name. Server transfers take several minutes to process. That's way quicker than I was thinking. During the server transfer process, you will not be able to log on to your character. Makes sense. After the transfer, character must wait 30 days before it can transfer to another server. That seems like a fairly generous amount. I'm fine with once a month. I'm surprised you can do it more than once, to be honest with you. The server that the character is being transferred to must have fewer than 5 characters. So, okay, so you still have to adhere to the total character limit you can have in this game, which is just 1 below every class, which is 5. Characters must have at least a level 30 quality. Makes sense, so that way we don't have a bunch of bots transferring around or something. Level of the character to be transferred cannot be higher than the server paragon level of the target. Interesting. So if I'm 243 paragon, which I am actively, and in-game it's 242, I cannot transfer until I'm either at or below the server paragon. I'd have to wait 1 day for the paragon to go above me, and I'd have to not play that day or something. That's not really a big deal. I kind of get that. I think that makes sort of sense, because there is a point in the game where you can get to 0% experience, and some people who are like min-maxing might be swapping to other servers just to get extra paragon level a day early or something stupid. I don't know. Either way, it kind of makes sense. Server transfers are not available in certain servers due to restrictions. Okay, there's probably, like, they don't want to transfer the overpopulated servers. Like, ones that are really full already, it wouldn't make sense to transfer to there, I would think. Only a certain number of server transfers are available per day. If you encounter this restriction, please try again the next day. Okay, so due to probably bandwidth limitations, they can only do, sorry about my phone, so many of those per day. That makes sense as well. These are all pretty reasonable, to be honest. Let's see. I wonder if it's free or if it's going to cost something. Character updates after transferring. Character will be disbanded from their warband, their clan. They'll be set to an adventurer. Makes sense. So that means you could join in the Mortal or Shadow instantly. All leaderboard rankings will be removed. Makes sense. Challenge Rift server first records will not carry over. That makes sense too. Achievements and battleground rating will be retained. Interesting. So you can go from one battle group to another, but keep your battleground rating. I wonder if people that are like super into PvP and MMR and all that are going to be using that somehow. All friends in the friends list will be able to retain. This all seems like, you know what, I believe this data mine, because this all seems extremely reasonable and pretty much how I would assume they would do it, with very reasonable rules. They didn't say anything about pricing, so I'm assuming this is something free, as the data mine didn't say anything about that in it. With that being said, I'll have a link to this video if you want to see any information further. You can find it there. Consider liking this video or subscribing if you would like to, or if I've earned it. That's about it. See you guys on the next update.